So let me tell you, it's just the way that they get us. The black women just have it hard, See, one thing I understand, black woman, that it's a very, very, very poor selection of all-rounded, hold on, let me make sure how I can say this right, so you critics don't shoot at this. But it's a very small selection of dependable, all-around dependable black men. And we know this. See, the average black man now that the woman meets isn't prepared as a man. We have to understand that most of the black men that's coming up, that's from the 80s, the 70s, and 80s area, was fatherless. Majority of us were fatherless. Not only were majority of us fatherless, but majority of us was motherless at the same time, which is kind of different to now, where the mothers are raising the children, because at that time in that era, the grandmothers was raising the children. Now it's just the mothers raising the children, playing both parts. There's the male and the female in the household. So so like I'm saying, it's a very small selection of black men for black women, and it's really hard for a black woman not to be dependent upon state assistance, food stamps, cash assistance, WIC, all of these things, because the black male is not in the household to provide these things to the household, to bring these things to the table, and we haven't been for a long time. So now we have a systematic breakdown within the household, where the strongest cell is subtracted. Not even subtracted, but we're subtracted, but abstracted from the household. Boom, take it. Then you have the systematic breakdown where the woman has now have to step up and play the role of the male, and when she can't do that as a mother, she has to depend on something or someone or the government assistance. So now it becomes the trap where it's systematic, because at one point in time, everybody could get food stamps. You could just go get food stamps. It was made for women, really, single mothers. But then it came to the point where average people like me or your homeboy in school could go get food stamps, and they was just giving them to everybody. And it wasn't nothing. Then it changed. If you had a dope case, you can't get stamps. You had a certain type of drug case, you couldn't get stamps. Then you had to change it to where now, hey, Miss Lady, you have to put the father of the children that we're giving you assistance for now on child support. But hold on, wait a minute. What do you have to do with anything? The fact that he's subtracted and abstracted from the home, why y'all, now you have to put him on child support? Why? Because this is systematic design to where the black man is now, more traps are set for him to be inside the institution, the Michigan Department of Corrections. So now you have to put him on child support, because it's the difference. You have to pay attention to this. And I'm going to close this after I say this, because you have to understand, when a black woman has it hard and she cannot provide for her child, can't find a job because it's a recession or something, or whatever else, when she is doing bad for herself, the government turns around and assists her financially with food, housing, and everything else. When the man cannot find a job or support his child because of things like felonies and other things, he is now put on child support and given a warrant now because he cannot take care of that child. So we have to pay attention to that systematic design. Why is it that way? Why now, if you can't get food stamps if you don't put the father on child support? Why is the housing commission, the complexes, is now so institutionalized and complex to where they come and check on, make sure everything's fixed, take pictures, so if we try to, and they got a head count, just like in the Department of Corrections. They got a head count of each child in that house, each parent in that house, and this is why you can't have anybody move in without their permission. It's against policy because they have to get a check for each one. And if you put somebody in there, they fucking up the program or fucking up the money, and they ain't allowed that. That ain't gonna work for us niggas. They ain't feeling that.